Hey guys, what's going on? It is iJustRengar here, and today I am going to be coming at you with a video that's a little bit different because this one I'm going to be watching one of my games. I actually just played this. Um, in this game, I was really focused on trying to tell my teammates exactly what I wanted them to do in order to close out the game as fast as possible. So this video is going to be all about closing out the game. This is a video where we do get a lead. In the beginning, and because of that, we're able to further extend our lead and then snowball the lead, and then eventually win the game at 20 minutes. So I'm going to show you how exactly we did that, how at first we got the lead, which is going to be also kind of my how to get ahead as an early game assassin video. If you go back to that, that kind of shows you the strategy I'm going to employ here. So right here, you should be able to just watch this really quick. Okay, so I'm going to take my red buff to start. This is going to be a standard invade clear, which means I'm going to go take my red buff. I'm going to get my ferocity, I'm going to take these chickens, and then from here, I'm going to go straight to the Kha'Zix's red buff. I know that Kha'Zix is most likely going to go from here to here. That was my assumption before I even really got into the game, because that's what a lot of people do. And so I start walking up here, and look, as you can see, I'm coming up into here, and boom, there he is, the Kha'Zix. Now, quick note right here, and this is going to be more about closing the game rather than snowballing, so I don't want to go too much in depth on this. A quick note right here, you don't want to be in my position, you want to be right here, because then the red buff will attack him instead of me. So what I want to do is try to make it so the red attacks him instead of me. So watch, right here, I am going to take a hit from the red, but I'm also going to just walk myself over. Now, right here, let me go back actually, and then let me just show you like the little intricacies of this fight. So, fighting, auto attack, Q, auto attack. As soon as I take the Q damage and the hit from the red, I'm going to hit my W to heal up. I Q there, and then I instantly Q again. He flashes over though, so he jukes out of it. So because he flashed over, I know, okay, so I need to get out of here somehow. I run down here. Luckily, my laner comes up before this GP comes up because he has lane priority. Lane priority means that the Twisted Fate is the one that's pushing in this lane. Because he's pushing in this lane, he is the one that has dominance over the GP, which means he gets to roam first, GP gets to follow. There are some cases where if your laner isn't paying attention, the GP might roam first, but in this situation, we have lane priority here, and as you can see, the minions are stacked over here, so we have lane priority top lane as well. So you can see Tahm Kench coming down before Maokai. You can see the Twisted Fate coming down before the Gangplank. So, right here, just let me go, snag this kill right here. Now, right over here, I see the GP, and I'm like, okay, what do I want? I step forward just to kind of bait him out, because I know that he can't use that barrel yet. I step back. I say, okay, what can I do? What can I do? I go and I step here. Now, I know that I still have my W up, and we see him there. He's kind of trapped into a corner now, because we have people here. Now, so right here, you can see from back there, before this actually happened, this guy's right here, so he's covering that area. I'm right here, so I'm covering this area. He's trapped right in here. Those are really, really big. I did not intend for them to be that large. So he's right here. I'm right here. He has to stay in this area, because if he runs here, this guy catches him here. If he runs here, I'm right here. So what he should have done is, if he wanted to, go up here before the Twisted Fate could come over. That way he'd be able to 1v1 me for a little while longer. But I don't actually let him do that. So let's see this right here. Let's watch what I do. So I go. I know that he's probably going to try to go on me, so he flashes forward. He gets his proc on me, and he Qs me, and auto-attacks me all in the same tick. So I'm going to hit my W. Boom. I instantly heal back half the damage he dealt. So then I chill back here, and then I jump forward at the last possible second. I'm waiting. That way Twisted Fate can get in range to help me. I do this just in case he has oranges. Even though he doesn't have oranges, he's level 2. In the moment, I was thinking not about everything, and I was just thinking, oh, what if he has an orange? So, but we end up still picking him up anyways. That gold goes to the Twisted Fate, which is good. Now here, rather than backing, which I could do, I say, okay, I have a health pot ticking. I can take this and restore my my hit points, so I'm just going to go and clear. So right here, I go and I clear this blue buff. It's kind of unlucky because I'm literally like a quarter of an XP away from the next level. Or like a sliver. I was away a sliver of XP from level 3. So if I had hit that, I would have gotten the blue a lot faster. But it's okay, because either way, I'm going to back after this wolf camp. So, I go and I take this wolf camp, and then I'm just going to take that really quick, and then head back right here. I walk down here just in case Kha'Zix goes and tries to invade me. It's unlikely, but it's a couple seconds, and right now, that couple seconds isn't too precious. So, I'm going to keep moving along here, and we're going to try to get to the part where I can kind of show you what I'm doing to win. Also, bot lane did trade 1-for-1, so that lane is a little bit even still. Although our AD carry did get the gold, so that's a little bit in favor of us. So, what I'm going to do right here, just keep going up, keep efficiently farming my jungle. I know that I probably can't gank bottom, and I know that after I clear from here to here, I'm not going to have anything else to do on my top side. I know that his top side's clear, and so what I want to do is I want to come and invade here. So actually, let me, I would turn off Fog of War, but I've already played the game, so I already know what's going to happen. And I literally just played this game like 5 minutes ago, so it wouldn't like make much sense for me to be like, oh, this is how I predict things. Oh, also, a little tidbit. When I jumped right here, I used my E mid-jump. In order to hit the Scuttle Crab, I E'd facing this way while I was jumping this way. So, basically what I did was I jumped this way, but I cast my E like that, upwards. Even though it was like not in my initial path of my jump. And the reason that I did that was just because that's how you hit your E on like a moving target. You aim where they're going to be. Which is why it can sometimes be good if a Rengar is chasing you to start running in a random direction as he's going to hop. So right here, if I had ran straight to this right away, maybe I would have been able to hop to him, because I want to 1v1 him right now, especially because he just uses Q. I can get some free damage off and then back out with Empowered Ferocity and then go back. Or I could just double W one of his Qs and then instantly heal back all the damage that would do, which would be 204, so I would just instantly heal back all of that. But he ends up backing off, which is a wise choice. However, what isn't a wise choice is the fact that he comes down here, and he does that so I know that he's like moving down this way. And then we see that he's right here, so I say, okay, so what can I do? I can go and I can protect my bot lane. Right now, bot lane is the only lane that's not really winning or going well, bot lane's going even, top lane's going even. So I start heading down and I say, okay, so what can I do here? So rather than running straight down towards him, because there's two options. You can run like this, but that's a bad option, because if you run this way, by the time you get to here, he's going to be like right here. So what I do is I'm going to run down towards this way, because they're running backwards, right? Because they're running backwards, I don't need to run directly at them. Well, directly at him. I want to run to where he's going to be by the time that I would get there. So watch. See how I kind of start walking down that way, and then I say, okay, I got to go here. So right here, I use my W then, even though it doesn't hit anybody, because I want to block as much damage as possible. I come over here, I place a ward down, I hop to that. I don't think that I was 100% in range to get to the Jhin. I thought that I might have been soon, but I said, okay, I don't want to risk it. And then I jump to him, and then I'm able to pick up the Kha'Zix as well. So now, at this point, we have a lead, and this is when you really want to say, okay, I want to take this lead and I want to win the game. They have a Gangplank, so they have a possibility of coming back late game. They got the Lulu to kind of like protect him late game as well. They got the Maokai to soak up a lot of damage. So they have a decent team comp. So we need to make sure that we close out this game fast, because we only have one tank. He's not really that heavy of a tank. So Twisted Fate starts coming down this way, and at this point I start typing to my team a lot. And I'm gonna, you can't see my chat, but I'm gonna be typing to my team a lot this game. And right now I'm saying, okay, we want Dragon, but we don't want it yet. So I'm going to go take this, and then I'm going to go farm. I said, while I'm walking up, I type to my team. Use your walking time to type if you're going to be like a shot caller. And I say, okay, so I'm going to back, get my Duskblade, and then after that, we can go for the Dragon. So I know that I just need a little bit more gold. I walk up here because he's not going to be able to get to it in time. So I walk up, and I just E that right there. And then he walks over that way for some reason, I'm not sure. But then I'm able to pick this up, and then that gives me enough gold for my Duskblade. A 7-minute, 30-second Duskblade is huge. That's really, really, really good. And right now you can see my score is very good as well. So, right here I say, okay, so the Infernal Dragon's huge for closing out games. The reason I walked forward there, if Lux wasn't here to like help me, the reason that I walked forward was that way, if there was a ward that would have shown Dragon, it would have shown to me on the Duskblade. That way I know that I can effectively sneak the Dragon. But since I walk forward and there's no ward, Lux just comes over, she assists me, and we're able to take that out. The issue would be if there was a ward right here and then the enemy team all collapsed, but we're stronger than them anyways, so if the entire team comes, we can just fight them. So we go and we take this, and then I say, okay, I start pinging over here, pinging for them, but then I really quickly, I'm like, okay, I want to get an extra Dark Harvest stack really quick before I go. But he pulls the trigger, and so it ends up working out. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to work pretty well. So I'm going to be able to just go over here, and I don't really have to do too much. So I'm going to take this right here, And then from here, just counter jungle, counter jungle, counter jungle. Remember, counter jungling is important. The reason why is because, let's say that Kha'Zix has an entire jungle to clear. That's a total of, like, let's say 650 gold or something like that from all the creeps combined. This, right? So basically what I do, and I have 650 gold, right? So this is me. This is Ka. My handwriting's awful. So basically what we're doing is we're taking 100 gold out of his pocket, and we're adding 100 gold to mine. And what that does, that puts me at 750 once I fully clear that in my jungle, and that puts him at 550. So, 550. Basically, that means, okay, that's an awful 550, but you know what I mean. So that puts me at a 200 gold lead, which is actually huge if you think about it. 200 gold, well, it's not really that huge, but you can buy 2 control wards and you can buy a potion with that. And a control ward could save somebody's life. So that one counter jungling right there puts me ahead, and it sets him behind. Me setting him behind like that could make it so he can't buy, let's say he wants a refillable potion, he can't buy, okay, well he does have one. But let's say he was to back and then he couldn't buy one, he would buy 1 health potion, then he'd have to use that, and then he would buy a refillable later on to be inefficient for him. I personally don't buy too many potions, refillable or not, so I don't really have to worry about that problem, but it works out. Now, one thing that I want to show you guys is the bot lane tactic, is what I like to call it. It's when you chill in this bush, and then you just wait for the AD carry. I go here to pick up the Dark Harvest stack, and then I say, okay, I know that they're going to come. I also pinged for my team to come and stay in here with me, the Fnatic Deathbrush, but they didn't want to. But it all works out, because right here, I hop out, I use my E mid-jump, that way it hits right after. I Q, W, and then empowered Q. And then that's going to be able to just pick them up instantly for me, which is huge. And then I'm just going to pick up the rest of the CS. So, here, what do we want to do? Also, I didn't actually call for the pressuring of this turret, but that's kind of just like a consensus thing because everybody's in the area. So now I type to my team and I say, okay, well, not right now, but I say, what do we do next? And you have to, well, I don't actually say what do we have to do next. I say that to myself, and then I answer it, and then I tell my team what I think we should do. So I say, okay, pressure mid, and Vayne says dive for the gangplank, which I'm like, okay, yeah, we can dive. So run over here, then I just flash, jump on him. Lulu can't really react in time. If she did, that would have been bad for me, but it all works out. Me completely forgetting that Jhin has W, I just kind of like do a random juke to the side just in case he does throw out a W, so I can just walk past it. And then right here, I make a misplay. I know that Lulu was just up that way, but I'm like, oh, I don't see her, so maybe I can get a kill. And I walk forward too much. She's able to get close enough to ulti me, and then I just go down. And that's kind of a risk of not backing, because I did have enough gold to buy another serrated dirk and longsword, I believe. Yeah. Which if I had had that, maybe I would have killed him. But I just gave them a 450 gold bounty, which you do not want to do. I effectively gave them 750 gold on top of the assist. I gave them 900 gold by dying right there, which is actually ridiculous when you think about it. 900 gold is a huge amount. So, but after this, I say, okay, so what's up? We see that there's an outer. So when I was dead, I made use of my time. I didn't alt-tab and go on Reddit, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's see what's on Reddit, my guys. I wonder what's going on. No, I looked at the map, and I said, okay, so what's the next logical step? These are down. This is down. These two are up. So there's an outer turret that's up. What you really want to do is you want to systematically crack the map. You want to take out the outer turrets, take out the inner turrets, take out the inhibitor and inhibitor turrets, because each one of these things is going to unlock a part of the map for you. For example, when you take this top turret, you kind of like unlock the access from like right over here. Well, when you take this one, you unlock like all of this for you pretty much. When you take, let me erase that. When you take the first initial turret, you kind of unlock like the ability to go around here and kind of go down here relatively safely. When you take the mid turret, which is definitely the most important turret to take, you kind of gain access to like this. Not that far out, but to there, and then you get like kind of through there, and then that becomes like your domain. So you can like kind of occupy this area, and it's relatively safe compared to what it would be. And then once you take these out, then you can really start pressuring in because you don't have to worry about these lanes. So it's really strong when you can systematically take all these, because that, instead of keeping them in here, pretty much, it basically moves them down to like this. So they lose all of this space that they can like effectively call theirs, that they can easily defend, because they're so close and they can run to safety if they need to. They lose all of that space, and that becomes basically free space, which if you're the team that's ahead, that free space is going to be like your space. So basically, you're claiming pieces of the map for yourself, especially if you get these wards down. You want to ward as much as possible. I didn't buy as many control wards this game as I should have. I definitely should have bought way more. But I was like really focused on doing damage and getting gold, and that's really not the way to be. So, I actually called and typed in chat for TF to come with me rather than going up here. That way we could get catches together. But it ends up working out anyways. I'm able to just jump on him. I know that Lulu doesn't have her R, and I'm able to just kill him right there. I use my Empowered Cube because I'm not sure if my Empowered W will have enough damage. I walk over here, and I am going to be taken down. This is an issue because, again, I die, and I give up a 300 gold bounty, which, again, I'm giving up a lot of gold, and you really want to try not to die. Once you get a pick, run back. Honestly, that was my mistake because I thought that my team was pushed up to here already, despite that turret just dying. So that was just a miscommunication, or missed looking at the map, I should say, on my part. A misread. So, we take this down, and then I say, okay, so keep pushing this. My plan that I actually typed out, now that I remember it, was I said take 2 turrets top, then take rift, then reset, then crack mid. And that's like exactly what I was like typing out in chat. So we go and we take this, and then I start spam pinging this right here. See Rengar asking for assistance. We go, we take this, and then I say, okay, reset. Because look, she's low on mana, he's half health, she's a little bit low on mana. TF didn't reset right away, which I wish that he had, because this game's literally all about momentum. If you can get that momentum and keep it swinging for you, that's very, very, very good. So I say, okay, so Vayne wants red, so I'm going to go over here. I'm giving it to her because I want her to be able to kite if the Kha'Zix gets on her, the Maokai gets on her. And I'm not really in need of too much extra damage, although this would be nice. But I go and I leash it just because I want to be able to get to this as fast as possible with the Rift Herald. That way we can keep them overwhelmed. If we give them time to think, they're going to farm up, and they're going to have more opportunity to outplay us. We don't want to give them time to think. We want to stay ahead at all times, because right now they're demoralized, so we want to just kind of kick them while they're down. So right here, I'm just kind of taking as much farm as I can while I wait for everybody to push mid, and then boom, we start to push mid, and right now it's kind of like a, not too good, and then boom, we get a pick. Once we get a pick, I instantly try to say, Vayne, use your Rift Herald. I end up pinging her Warding Totem because I didn't really, oh, it doesn't show here. But I pinged her Warding Totem because she just started casting it as I was like, hey, Vayne, place it. So we're able to pick this up right here, which is going to be good for us. And we start pushing into here. Now this, again, is good because this unlocks all of this point. Look at this. This is huge. So right here, this is what they're confined to. They started with having pretty much this. Now, all of this is free space that's pretty much like determined by us, and we have every single tower up. Now, we're only ahead by 7 kills. 7 kills is 7 times 300 is, what's 7 times 300? Look at this, the lattice method. Let's go, baby. Did anybody else do this? Did anybody else do like the lattice method? 2,100 gold is what it is. 2,100. See? You do the 2, the 1, the 0, the 0, 2,100. So you're 2,100 gold ahead just off of kills. But this is a lot more than that. And the reason why? These towers. Also, if you think about it, the gold provided by Infernal is also quite a bit. And that's actually really huge for us. So, after this, let me start this back up. So we start to pressure a little more. I think I used my ultimate a little bit badly right here. Yeah. I use my ultimate, and then I realize that it's probably a bad idea, and so I say, okay, let's go and take the dragon. We want to just take as many objectives as we can while we can. Then I tried to just farm a little bit. Kha'Zix, for some reason, is in my jungle. I mean, I guess it works. I think it's just because he had nothing in his jungle. And he has his ulti to kind of escape if he needs to. So, kind of just head up here. And then right here, I'm just going to back. No? Okay. Sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, yeah, I say catch GP, and then we see him there. And then right here, I do make another mistake. Again, these mistakes are really easy to minimize. I knew that these guys were here, but I was wondering if I would be able to kill the Jhin before they saw me, like if they didn't go and ward this bush, like if I could have outplayed it somehow. But in the end, Definitely not able to do that. And one note here, if I flashed right now, I would have been free to just escape. But instead I don't flash until here, when it's way too late. And plus I get hit by the thing and then I flash. I did Happy Feet those last two, but it ended up not being enough. So I ended up going down another needless death. That one didn't really have a bounty, I don't think. Yeah, no bounty for that one, so that's good. But it's still bad because, you know, I obviously died, which is horrible. You don't want to die when you're ahead. That's how you get back in the game. Even 1-for-1s are bad when you're ahead. When you're behind, 1-for-1s are good. When you're ahead, 1-for-1s are bad. And let me explain why. So let's say that one person has 1,000 gold, the other person has, let's say, the other person has 1,300 gold. So let me switch that up. So one person has 1,000, one person has 1,300. So this is the pickaxe, this is the BF sword. There's a pretty big difference between pickaxe and BF. There's a 15 AD difference. So basically you'd be saying, oh wow, the person that has the 1k gold is screwed. But if you think about it like this, in like a team perspective, so let's say this team has like 5,000, this team has 6,000, right? So this team is obviously ahead. There's 200 gold extra on each person. It seems like there's a pretty big lead here. 1,000 gold lead this early is going to be pretty big. But the thing is, let's say that it stayed static at a 1,000 gold lead. Let's say that this game goes later. Then it would be 50,000 gold to 51,000 gold, right? So as the amount of gold grows, if like when you trade a kill, the amount of gold stays the same or goes up by if you get assists 900 total, and it's split evenly between the two teams. So if these people just traded kills back and forth, eventually it'd be 50,000 to 51,000. In this instance, this team got the better off trade, or the worse off trade, because when they were like, what is that, like 20% more ahead of in gold? Yeah, they're 20% more ahead in gold. But here, they're only like 2% more ahead in gold. So the difference, based on how long the game goes, or actually it's more based on how much gold there is, but as the game goes on, there's more static gold given. So the longer the game goes, the less a gold lead is going to matter. And the more kills that are on the board, the less a gold lead is going to matter if they're like split between each team. So that was my... Wait, why don't I just hit this? That would be a lot more intelligent. Alrighty, so I'm going to play this right here. Now, how do we close out this game now? So I say, okay, look mid. And let's try to crack mid, because mid right now, it's down 1,500 HP. So it's already weakened. We need to go down there and we need to pressure it. We have good siege with Lux and with Twisted Fate. And we have some good tankiness with the Tom Kench. We know that he's around bot side, and we know that Maokai is currently dead. Which means this should be pretty free. And we walk up, and look, we're going to be able to pick it up uncontested. Now, also, another thing that this team has been doing is roaming a lot as a group of 5. And that's due to me typing in chat, telling people what to do, as well as using a lot of pings. You can notice, if you go back in the video, look at how many pings are on the map right now. But earlier, back in the video, I was pinging, like, spam pinging here, spam pinging here, spam pinging the dragon, stuff like that. Because that's how you really get your point across. I'm going to use my Empower W there just to back up really easily. Here, this is bad. I didn't want to go on him right away because I didn't have my E. But then I kind of tunnel, and then I go, and then I get killed. We trade 1-for-1, which is bad. And we probably would have gotten them anyways. So we take the inhibitor down, and then I say, okay, what do we need to do? I'm saying this to myself, of course. I'm not going to be like, okay, what do we need to do in chat to my team? Although, you can do that as well, actually, if you don't know and you feel like somebody else on your team is more qualified. You can ask, be like, hey, what do you think we should do? So right here, I go down here. That way I can just clear this wave out, because otherwise we're going to lose a lot of XP and CS to the turret. So I go down here. I grab as much CS as possible. I pick this up and I say, okay, we got to protect our turrets. We don't want to lose turrets because the turrets are like 1k gold each. If the enemy team can pick them up, so we do not want to lose those. The turrets are what's going to keep our gold lead, being a substantial gold lead. Because right now a 7k gold lead is actually pretty huge. That's like that'd be like having an IE on one of your carries and a Rabadon's on your AP carry. Like that's really, really, really big. For you, if the gold's in the right place, which, looking at this, it kind of is, actually. 316, 327. So, We're able to pick this up. Then I say, okay, what do we need to do? Let's pressure top. We should pressure top. Why? Does anybody have a guess on why? Well, let me enlighten you. That sounds so weird. Okay, so we want to pressure top just because, I mean, you could pressure top or bot, but Baron's coming up soon. It's unlikely that they'd be able to sneak it, but if Maokai tanks and then they all DPS it at the same time, they could run over and sneak it while we go and take this and then maybe trade it. It would just kind of be messy. We want to stay up here also, that way if we win a fight but we can't push, but we kill a lot of them, like let's say they killed our minion wave, we can retreat down to the Baron, take the Baron, and then push the next fight and have a huge advantage the next fight. So that's why we want to go top lane here as opposed to going bottom. So right here, I just take this out. We come up here. Vayne does get caught a little bit. I use my W just to get 4 ferocity. That way I can empowered E towards him. That way if he keeps going, Vayne can kill him, and he doesn't kill Vayne. Being very liberal with my E usage, but she ends up going down, which is an unlucky one. He has this in here. I go and I take that red buff. Just want to optimize my GPM a little bit. And here I think that it's probably warded. That's there, so it's like, oh, unlucky, they know where we are. But then it ends up not being warded. So, the good thing is, right now I can just kind of chill here. I'm able to just jump on him, and then boom, I kill him. I use an empowered W too, because it's a little faster than the empowered Q, and I knew that it would probably be enough to kill. Then I go on him, and I'm able to take him down, go up here, and be able to take him down as well. And then that is the end of this game. So, as you can see, we basically just did a multitude of things, and the things that you need to think about are the ring. You want to take out each one of these subsequently if you can. I mean, it's obviously good to keep going for more if you can as well, but if you could kind of try to take it like a step-by-step thing. The objectives are to help you get each one of these things and to give you a lead and an advantage over each person. As well. So like that's what the Baron and that's what the Dragon are for, the Rift Herald, etc. You want to use those to get more objectives, more towers, more map control. You need the map control. So you take this, then you reduce them down to this. You take these, then you reduce them down to this. When you take these, if you take all the inhibitors, then they're literally just like right here. So you're constantly reducing them. Oh wow, that was a bad line. From here to here to here to here to here, you're constantly just using as much pressure as you can. And one really, really easy way to do this in solo queue is if your team listens to you, which sometimes they won't, and in some games you will have to kind of play around them rather than making your own decisions. If your team will listen to you, try to roam in groups of 3, 4, 5. Try to get objectives all together as a team, as you saw our team doing a lot. And the main reason that they were is because I was shot calling in chat. If you're fast enough at typing and you can shot call in chat when you're dead, when you're moving like out from base, when you're going back, if you're in a safe spot. If you're not in a safe spot, keep your eyes open. But yeah, all these different things you can do, and I hope that you were able to learn a lot from this video. I tried to explain my thought process as best as possible. I wish that I had recorded it because it was actually, I thought it was really, really good the way that I was shot calling, which is kind of why I wanted to share it with you. I know that this was kind of a stomp, but the reason why is because of the shot calling that we did. If it was just 20 to 11 in kills, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal. It's the 7 turrets to 0 that makes the real difference. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.